Even before the humble beginnings of philosophy in ancient Greece, humans have been obsessed with the idea of substances, where one material ends and another begins, and the general building blocks of life. But over the thousands of years that we've studied various materials, we've developed a good idea of what's what. With the science of chemistry and the periodic table, we've come to figure out and predict how basic substances or materials work. Some materials have bizarre and abstract traits and are frankly quite weird. Nature seems to operate by strict rules, where things are seemingly predictable and fit wonderfully into neat little explanatory packages. This gives us the ability to categorize things in different ways and understand them for what they are. Here are 10 absolutely strange materials that have been discovered by scientists throughout the years. Number 10. Triiodide. While triiodide itself refers to one chemical which can be mixed with many others to create different chemicals, triiodide, short for triiodide ion, isn't inherently very interesting. It's often a yellowish substance that turns red when prepared in such a way to create nitrogen triiodide, with the inorganic compound designation of Ni. What makes nitrogen triiodide so special? Its ridiculous explosiveness. Most explosives use chemical processes which are quite complex, or heat and combustion, but not nitrogen triiodide, which is explosive on contact. That's right, take a simple gram or so of this powder, set it on a table, touch it with nearly anything, and watch the show. All that's required for it to blow up is simple contact, or friction. This material is so unusual due to its volatility that even touching it can cause it to explode. Number 9. Vantablack. Vantablack is an artificial material that was developed by SHERE Nanosystems. This coating goes on many things, from paint to carbon objects. It's the material equivalent of a black hole in that it traps light, so much so that three-dimensional objects coated with the material appear to be two-dimensional as the refraction of any light is so heavily reduced. It holds the world record for the darkest artificial substance and the darkest black you can buy. The material absorbs 99% of all light it comes into contact with. People even coated a building with it in South Korea to create the darkest place on Earth in a mimicry of the deepest recesses of space. The goal was to create an experience of being absorbed into blackness, a deep, dark cloud of black. Three-dimensional objects coated in Vantablack actually look like shadows from the profile view. Definitely an interesting material, to say the least. Number 8. Ultra-hydrophobic material. Ultra-hydrophobic material isn't the stuff we buy to coat leather and suede products or the spray coatings that protect our outdoor wood projects from the rain and other elements. An ultra-hydrophobic coating actually causes water to encase itself into tiny spheres that look like gemstones or marbles. It's so water-resistant that if you sprayed your old windshield with it, you could drive in the rain at up to 64 kilometers per hour, 40 miles per hour, and your windshield wouldn't get wet. Goodbye, trusty windshield wipers. In fact, ultra-hydrophobic material repels almost all liquids, causing them to shrivel up into little balls that you can even roll around as if they were actual marbles. This material is genius and has a lot of applications, including those for high-tech industries. It's also ultra-weird. Number 7. Ferrofluid. Ferrofluids are a type of liquid that can easily be formed into strange shapes without even touching them. Often dark, blackish, reddish, or grayish liquids. Ferrofluids act very much like any other liquid when they're outside the presence of a magnetic field. The moment the fluids come into contact with a magnetic field, they become highly magnetized, morphing shapes, bending, or pulling. They do everything our usual solid magnets do, only as a liquid state. This stuff looks like a dark, liquid metal. It can be purchased online or even made with readily accessible internet instructions. Like so many other wonders of physics, it's truly an amazing sight to see ferrofluids in action as they respond to the magnetic field and fall right in line with it. Then they disperse randomly once the magnetic field is removed. Number 6. Supercritical fluid. Supercritical fluid is a material created under certain circumstances of temperature and pressure. It suspends the dividing lines of physical properties as we know them. In short, supercritical fluid is a substance somewhere between liquid and gas. It is a mixture of both, and yet it is neither liquid nor gas. It occurs when any fluid gets heated above its critical temperature and pressure. Critical temperature is the point where a substance has been heated to such a degree that you cannot liquefy it. Critical pressure is the pressure that's needed to turn a gas into a liquid at a high temperature. Supercritical fluid is a gas-like substance with highly liquid properties. If you were to delve into the atmospheres of some planets, like Jupiter or Neptune, you would be immersed in it. It's a super freaky version of all liquids, or is it a gas? Number 5. Gallium. Gallium is a metallic element with the atomic number of 31, which even more closely resembles the liquid metal from Terminator 2 Judgment Day. Gallium's particularly strange characteristic is the low temperature at which it liquefies, which is only a tad shy of 30 degrees Celsius. 86 degrees Fahrenheit, that's close to room temperature in many places. This metallic element is bright, shiny, and silvery white in color. When you handle gallium, there's no ambiguity that you're handling a liquid metal. As a liquid, this metal can be played with. It rolls and forms into various shapes in your hands. Gallium has many practical uses, like LED lights, cabling, and pharmaceuticals. It's an extremely soft metal, even in its solid state. In fact, it's so soft that you could slice into it with a knife without much resistance at all. If you made a solid sphere, a ball of gallium, and then picked it up, it would melt in your hand. That's one fascinating metal. So now let's finish the video. Don't forget to subscribe our channel and press the bell icon. Thanks for watching.